What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another day, another dollar. Last week at UFC Fight Night Paris, we were extremely successful. Ended up going 10 for 12. Got 2 calls wrong, but hey, man, it's the UFC. It's the UFC. What do you expect? Like, unpredictable stuff happens in the UFC, all right? I want to say a huge thank you to all the new supporters. The first video was extremely successful, went up over 100 views. So again, thank you everyone who supported us. Let's run it back this week. Let's have an even better video this week. Hopefully, I hope you guys do what you got to do. My name is Reggie, and I'm going to be breaking down the full card of UFC 293. UFC 293 is in Australia. So I'm going to give you my picks, my prediction, my analysis, my insight, the way I see the fights going. On the full card of UFC 293, I'm gonna show you what I saw when I was watching film, and hopefully we go 12 for 12 this week. But before I do that, make sure you follow my Instagram at AnotherDayAnotherDollaPicks. That's AnotherDayAnotherDollaPicks. Obviously, I'm on YouTube. On YouTube is where I'll drop the video I'm shooting for Tuesday. Every single Tuesday, I'll drop the picks for that week for UFC Fight Saturday. Also, NFL season's coming up, so I'm going to be dropping a video Follow me on Twitter or X at AnotherDayPicks. That's where I'll be posting updates and just retweeting stuff from training camps, anything like that. Follow me. I'll post my picks there as well, so follow me on X at AnotherDayPicks. Of course, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Share this video, like the video, comment on the video. Let's get the numbers going up. I appreciate all the support. All right, y'all. First up, we got Kevin Jousset versus Kiefer Crosby. Kevin Jousset, 6'2", 30 years old, from France, but fights out of Australia. He's 8-2 overall, 4-1 in his last 5. This is his first UFC fight, so I imagine that this is going to be his first real test with the crowd, with the lights, with the pressure. I'm excited to see how he's going to do in this first UFC fight. When I was watching Kevin Jousset, just to let you guys know, I watch all these fighters' fights. I watch at least 3 of their fights, so I can kind of determine what kind of fighter they are, try to identify strengths and weaknesses. And I don't watch fights older than 2019, probably. 2019 is probably the furthest I go back, because anything before then is irrelevant. Like, UFC changes all the time, MMA changes all the time, the fighters themselves change all the time. So I don't watch old fights. Anything past 2019, I'm probably not going to watch. So Kevin Jousset, like I said, 4-1 in his last 5. This guy, he looks good. He looks like a good fighter, but I hate his movement. His movement is slow, stiff, and timid. He looks like a robot. When he's walking in the cage, he kind of looks like all his movements, they just seem calculated, which might be good, but he looks like a robot. He looks stiff, looks timid, and he also has little head movement. He can get caught at any time. I like people who move their head. This guy has very little head movement. However, he's 6'2", so he's tall. He likes to use his length to his advantage. He's going to throw that jab out there. He's going to throw them leg kicks out there to try to keep a range, keep distance. I think his go-to style of fight is Muay Thai. He loves being in the clinch. When he's in the clinch, he has good control. He knows how to manipulate you in the clinch. He's going to throw those devastating knees in the clinch, and he's going to throw those elbows in the clinch. He will also finish takedowns from the clinch. So if you're in the clinch with this guy, you want to be careful, because this is where he wants the fight to be. This is how he wins fights. In the clinch, throwing knees and elbows. Once he gets the takedown, he's probably not going to keep you down for long. He's not very good on top when he has you on the ground. But like I said, man, he's good at using his length to his advantage, and he's good at throwing knees and elbows in the clinch. I expect that to be his game plan here, as he's the bigger fighter in this fight. He's going against a brawler. He doesn't like to get hit, which may be a problem, but he is durable. He can take shots, and he is strong. So with that being said, Kevin Jousset is a good pick, as long as he sticks to his game plan and doesn't get pulled into a brawl. He's taking on Kiefer Crosby, a 5'11", 33-year-old Irish fighters. I love them Ireland boys, man. They got that swagger on them. I love the Irish fighters. Kiefer Crosby is 10-3 overall, 3-2 in his last 5. This is also his first UFC fight, but he has a lot of experience because he came from Bellator, and he was knocking people out over there in Bellator. Now it's coming to the UFC, better competition, bigger stage. Let's see how he does. Kiefer Crosby, he's not a technical striker. I love technical strikers. Kiefer Crosby is not bad, but he is a good brawler. He wants to make the fight ugly. He lives for ugly brawler style fights, like bar fights, just throwing stupid haymakers. He's confident, very confident in his chin. He will take one of your jabs so he can get his left hook in. He's not scared of taking shots in the chin.
Music licensing reimagined.
So far his chin, it looks like it holds up. So far it looks like his chin holds up. So I mean, as long as it works for him, we'll see how long he can go with that strategy. But it's going to give out one day. I don't think it'll give out against Kevin Jousset because Kevin Jousset is just not dangerous. But Kiefer Crosby will use those large, dumb haymaker hooks to his advantage. He has stupid KO power. Very powerful brawler. Like I said, like no technique, no skill. But he's going to come forward. He's going to pressure you. And he's going to throw those hooks, those power jabs. And he's going to try to get the KO. Kiefer Crosby has no BJJ, no ground game. But he's effective on top with the ground and pound. Because obviously he's a brawler. He wants the big knockout. But he's not skilled. He's just, once he's on top, he's good at throwing elbows and he's good at throwing that ground and pound strikes. So with that being said, man, I have to go with the better fighter here. The better overall fighter here is going to be Kevin Jousset. He has good enough striking, good in the clinch. He can hold his own on his ground. Only thing he has to do is make sure he doesn't get hit with one of these powerful hooks by Kiefer Crosby. Stay out of trouble, stay out of range, keep the distance, use his length to his advantage. He has 3 inches on Kiefer Crosby. Kevin Jousset should win this fight. He's the better fighter.
Music licensing reimagined.
He was absolutely destroyed by St. Denis, but St. Denis is really good, man. What you gonna do? And that's the thing that worries me about Gabriel Miranda. He's kind of a one-trick pony. He's kind of a submission or bust. He's not dangerous, but he can hold his own on the feet. He can hold his own in the striking exchanges. However, his primary use for the striking is to set up a takedown. He is magnificently skilled at timing and getting takedowns. He will make you engage in a striking encounter, and then out of nowhere, he's taking you down. It's magical to watch. He's very fast, very quick with the takedowns. Super impressed with how he can get a takedown. And he finishes a takedown. Like I said, he's a BJJ guru, man. If you're on the ground with him, good luck, brother, because you're probably going to tap in about 30 seconds. He easily manipulates his opponents on the ground to move right into his submissions. It's crazy. So I'm pretty sure he can submit anybody he wants to. Like, he has 16 wins, 15 of them were by submission. And he can hold his own on his feet. Like I said, I'm not worried about his striking. He's a good striker, but that's not his game plan. That's not what he should try to do in fights. He's taking on Shane Young. Shane Young lost to Blake Builder. Blake Builder is a good fighter. However, he was a minus 400 something favorite in the last fight, and of course I put him in a parlay, and he got demolished. Like, was
Music
just
licensing reimagined.
bad. And the only reason I don't like Blake Builder, like, everybody loses, right? But he was so cocky. He's in the middle of the octagon, taunting his opponent, like, bro, you're down 2 rounds, and you up here playing around. So I hate Blake Builder. If you lose to Blake Builder, I automatically think you suck. All right, moving on. Shane Young, like I said, lost to Blake Builder. He's a 5'8", 30-year-old fighter from New Zealand, 13-7 overall, 2-3 in his last 5. He's currently on a 3-fight losing streak. He's from New Zealand. This card is in Australia. I don't know. Maybe the home crowd gets him pumped up. We'll see what happens. Shane Young is very experienced. He's been in the UFC for a long time. He's seen a whole bunch of fighters. The reason why I think he has so many losses is because, well, obviously he goes to decision. He's not a dangerous guy. He's not looking for a knockout. He doesn't have the knockout power. He goes to decisions because he's smart, he has high IQ, and he knows how to stay safe. And you know what that means? He's a low volume, defenseless, cautious fighter, and I hate those fighters. So, he's super boring, but he does have a nice 1-2 jab combination. He'll throw every so often just to show the judges that he's still in the fight or whatever. Mid takedown defense, nothing special. Mid ground game, nothing special. Comfortable on his back. He knows how to not get submitted. But let's see if he knows how to not get submitted against Gabriel Miranda. Gabriel Miranda should have no problem taking this man down or even striking with him on the feet. I think Gabriel Miranda is the better striker here. Gabriel Miranda is the better, more dangerous guy on the ground. Better Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, better takedowns. The last fight that Shane Young won was in 2019. Now I get it, these fighters, they fight once a year, so you know he obviously he's on a 3-fight losing streak. The reality is Shane Young is experienced and seasoned, but he's just nothing. There's nothing there. Like there's no way I see him beating Gabriel Miranda. Gabriel Miranda is going to take him down, easily submit him, hopefully. Pick here is going to be Gabriel Miranda. Obviously, I'm not going with a low volume, low output guy. Gabriel Miranda should be able to push the pace, get takedowns, and submit this guy. Next up, we got my boy, Blood Diamond versus Charles Ratke. Blood Diamond's real name is not Blood Diamond. His real name is Mike Mafita or something like that. I'm sorry if I messed your name up, bro. But the fact that he actually goes by Blood Diamond makes me not want to pick him. Like off jump. Like, bro, you're 35 years old and you're Blood Diamond, really? That's what you're going with? Anyways, he actually goes by Blood Diamond. He's a 5'11" guy from Zimbabwe. He currently fights out of New Zealand. Whatever, it's not gonna help him. He's not good. 35 years old, 3-2 overall. And bottom line, man, is this guy is a joke. I don't know how he's in the UFC. I think because Israel Adesanya stopped out for this man back in the day, got him in the UFC.
Music licensing reimagined.
This man is not good. He's super mid takedown defense, super mid on the ground. However, he's from Africa. Like, we're naturally strong guy, super naturally strong. Super goofy striker. If you watch this man strike, you might get upset because he's just throwing dumb hooks, dumb overhand, dumb jabs. But he is a good scrambler, which worries me just a little bit because you know in scrambles anything can happen. Whoever is the most quicker and most, like that hamster on the spinning wheel, whoever's that guy is probably going to win that scramble. And Blood Diamond is kind of that guy, but he just doesn't have any technique or skill after that scramble to do anything with it. So yes, he can win a scramble. He's not good. His last fight, he lost to Orion Koski. Orion's also not a good guy, not a good fighter. But Blood Diamond is unpredictable, He's unpredictable. He obviously has his knockout power. He probably will land 1 out of 100 strikes. But if that one strike lands and it's clean, he could knock somebody out. That's just the reality. But if you come here and tell me that Blood Diamond's going to win the fight, I say you're crazy. There's no way this man wins this fight. He's just not good enough. I would not be surprised if this is his last fight in the UFC. Like, he's only had 5 fights so far. 2 of them are L's. Anyways, he's going up against Charles Radke. Charles Radke is a 33-year-old 5'10" American fighter, 7-3 overall, and he's 4-1 in his last 5. Charles Radke is a good technical striker with a quick jab. You guys know how much I love my technical strikers. He's a super methodical guy. He knows how to time those level changes. He knows when to throw a strike and then time that level change and go in for a takedown. I mean, the bottom line is he's the better fighter and he actually knows what he's doing. When he gets on top after a takedown, he methodically breaks the opponent down. He knows BJJ. He knows how to insert leg hooks. He knows how to throw a strike, and he can flatten you down where you either take that ground and pound or he'll trick you into a submission and then you'll tap out. He wins a lot of his fights by control time. Like I said, he's super methodical. He's going to take his time with you while he has you on the ground, and he's not going to give up that control. He's another good scrambler. The cardio is a little shaky. He had one fight where after the first round, he didn't look as good, but I think that this round doesn't go past the second, so he should have no issues with cardio. I think the most important thing about Charles Radke is that he's not very dangerous. He's not very dangerous, so he's relying on that decision win. But I think against a guy like Blood Diamond, he can get a finish. I think so. Yeah, Charles Radke easily wins this fight. Should be no issue here. Next up, we got Jamie Mullarkey versus John McDessie. Jamie Mullarkey is another one of those guys who's last fight was a -600 favorite. Everyone goes, Jamie Mullarkey. He goes in there and gets knocked out. First round, second round, whatever. Jamie Mullarkey, I will never pick him to win a fight. I hope you hear this. I will never pick Jamie Mullarkey to win a fight. He is not good. He's a 6-foot guy, 29-year-old from Australia. So another guy has a home crowd. This card obviously has a lot of Australians. It's in Australia. Last time they did this, I think that the home team, all the fighters from the home crowd, they had a clean sweep except for one fighter. But who knows? It might happen again. It might not. Jamie Mullarkey is from Australia. He's 16-6 overall, 3-2 in his last 5. He fought Volk a long time ago. Got knocked out by Volk. Everybody gets knocked out by Volk. Volk is super good, obviously.
Music licensing.
What I will say about Jamie, because I'm gonna say a lot of negative things, but I will say good about Jamie is that he's not a quitter. He's a tough, durable guy, and he's gonna stay in the fight until he gets knocked out. He always thinks he has a chance to win a fight, and you know that's not terrible. But I just can't stand this. He kind of reminds me of that annoying kid on the playground who just thinks he's better than what he is and always wants to be the quarterback, but he's not good enough and whatever. That's Jamie Mullarkey. He may get a takedown or whatever every once in a while, but he can't keep top control. He does no damage when he is on top. He has a stupid left hook on the feet that he loves to throw. It's stupid wild, stupid ugly, but it does win sometimes. The biggest thing here is that he has 6 losses, 4 of them by KO, because he gets confident and he rushes in and he gets knocked out. That's Jamie Mullarkey.
Music licensing.
Jamie Mullarkey is going against John McDessie. John McDessie is a 5'8" fighter from Canada, 38 years old, 18-8 overall, 3-2 in his last 5. Super experienced, seasoned vet. Been in the UFC for a long time. Lots of fights in the UFC. He's 38 years old. But those 18 wins are just people who, not household names, not people you're going to know. So, we have to see where he really is, where he really lies in the competition. He also is 38 years old, so that's another thing to keep note on. But he is a high IQ striker. He's a very good technical striker. He's super smart. He knows how to stay safe. He can see punches coming. He's a very good counter striker. You see you throw a punch, slip it, come right back with his own. He's like a very good counter striker. Slip, punch, come right back. He stays on his own rhythm. You can't get him out of his own rhythm. He knows what he wants to do, and he's going to execute his game plan. He's going to stay on that 1-2 touch, move. 1-2 touch, move. He's a very good. I call him the Chris Paul of the UFC because he's like a floor general, right? So he's going to stay on his own rhythm. He's not going to let you take him out of his game, and he's going to stick to his game plan. He's a super good, methodical, very patient striker. He can also make adjustments mid-fight. He can also see that Jamie Mullarkey is not good, and he's rushing in, throwing these stupid hooks, and he's going to do what? Slip, boom, counter strike. His last fight does have me a little weary though, because, like I said, he's getting up in age, and he fought Nasrat in his last fight, and Nasrat just straight up dominated this man. I don't know if it's because he's getting old or Nasrat was just better. I don't know what it is. But we'll see Nasrat a little later. He's on the same card, fighting Landon. But John McDessie can win this fight. The thing for him is, does he have the cardio? Is Father Time catching up to him? Is he going to be able to stay in the fight? I think John McDessie easily wins round 1. The only way Jamie Mullarkey wins is if he gets tired and take advantage of John McDessie's old age. But look, it's the UFC, man. Anything can happen. But the pick here is going to be John McDessie. He's a solid underdog. He's an underdog in this fight. But Jamie Mullarkey has lost as a favorite numerous times. So we'll see. I'm going with John McDessie. I honestly think he's a better fighter. The only thing that might hold him back is his age. All right, coming up next, we got my boy Nasrat versus Landon Quinones. Nasrat is a 5'10", 28-year-old fighter, born in Afghanistan but fights out of Germany. He's 14-5 in his 14-5 overall, 3-2 in his last 5. The thing that struck out to me first about Nasrat is that this is his second time fighting under an Adesanya headline. The last time he fought under an Adesanya headline, he took the L. I'm not saying that that's a coincidence. I'm just stating facts. So we'll see what happens this time. Like I said, it was John McDessie. He absolutely demolished John McDessie. And I think that's the best fight I've seen him in. That was the best I've seen him look. Like, the strikes were amazing, the head movement, the feints, he looked phenomenal. He looked like a very good striker. And I don't think that he's a not very good striker, but I think that day he looked particularly good because he was going against John McDessie, who was just getting old. But like I said, he's very quick, super smart. He knows when to go for the strikes, and he knows when to go for takedowns. He's super aggressive as well. High volume, high output, which I love. Questionable L to me, which makes me not want to pick this guy, is that he lost to Bobby Green. He's a better fighter than Bobby Green, but Bobby Green got in his head. Bobby Green was taunting him. Bobby Green made him fight Bobby Green's game. He didn't fight Nasrat's game. So I think he's easily manipulable, and he can get taken out of his game with a couple of words. He'll he'll have to keep his head on straight for Landon, because Landon is not a scrub. Nasrat has mid takedown defense. It's nothing special, nothing to get crazy about. Mid ground game, whatever. Dan Hooker dominated this guy. Dan Hooker's really good. So like Nasrat, this is a tough fight to pick because Nasrat is just wishy-washy. He's not very consistent. I've seen great spurts from him, but he's also
music licensing reimagined.
Which I think this is a great matchup for him because he's going against Landon Quinones, who is also trying to prove himself in the UFC. Landon Quinones is 5'9", 27 years old from America. 7-1-1 overall, 4-5 in his last 5. He was a recent contestant on The Ultimate Fighter season 31. I was a big fan of Landon. Like, I like Landon. Like, I think we could be cool. You know what I'm saying? I think we could be friends or whatever. You're not in the DC, hit me up, bro. But I think Landon thought he was a little better than what he was, and then Jason Knight showed him how good he wasn't. Jason Knight killed this man on television, on a live TV show.
Music licensing
Jason Knight
reimagined.
just completely outclassed Landon. But I will say Landon's not a scrub. Like, he's good. He's just young. He needs some time to develop. I think the best thing Landon has going for him, which is how a lot of people win fights, is control time. Landon is very good at timing his takedowns. He's very good at top control. And he's very good at not letting people get up. But his downfall is in the stand-up. He can get pieced up. He can be relaxed because he doesn't have that dog in him. Like, he will let someone come into his striking range and piece him up. But he can get takedowns, but he's not good on the feet. He has a very good cardio. If this round goes past the second round, I can easily see Landon winning just off his cardio because he'll be able to last longer in the fight. So this is going to be a tough pick here. With Nasrat's inconsistency and Landon on the come up, trying to prove himself, I think Landon's going to win this fight just off of takedowns and just off of control time. Nasrat will be the better striker, but unfortunately, I don't know if it's unfortunate, but in the UFC, control time, takedown, they win fights. So Landon's a pick here. Next up, we got a banger. This fight right here should be fight of the night. Chepe Mariscal versus Jack Jenkins. Chepe had fight of the night in his last fight when he went against Trevor Peek. That fight was crazy. Trevor Peek and Chepe they just went at it for 3 rounds. It was insane. Like, knockdown after knockdown after takedown after takedown, blood everywhere. It was a great fight. He's going against Jack Jenkins. Chepe is 5'7", 30 years old, from Denver, Colorado. Shout out to the home team. 14-6 overall, 4-1 in his last 5. He is coming down from 155, so he's dropping the weight class to 145. This could go either 2 ways. It can go 1 or 2 ways for him. He can be lighter, faster, stronger, or he could have a super hard weight cut, and then he's going to look slow, sluggish, drained, exhausted. Who knows how this weight cut's going to be for him? You know, it can be good or bad. Chepe is obviously a high-energy, entertaining brawler. He's looking for the knockout. He wants to make you bleed. He wants to bust your eye. He's relentless. He reminds me of like a hamster running on a spinning wheel. He gives 100% all the time. He has that dog in him. And you know, these are my type of guys. He has that dog in him. And he's going to pressure you. He's going to back you down. He's going to throw everything he has, spinning back to his jabs, uppercuts, hooks. Fuck it. Leg kicks to the head. He's throwing all of that. He's super entertaining. You know, so you're thinking like, okay, Chepe is the pick here. No, it's not that simple, man. It's not that simple. They matched him up with Jack Jenkins. Right? Jack Jenkins is a 5'7", 27-year-old guy from Australia. He has the home crowd. He's 12-2 overall. Overall, in his last 5, he is 5-0. This guy's a Contender Series guy. If you don't know what the Contender Series is, Dana White, he puts on exhibitions for people, which are basically tryouts, to give them contracts into the UFC, and he only picks the best fighters to give a contract to. Jack Jenkins is a Contender Series guy, so he obviously has that dog in him. He's experienced too. He has a lot of fights at the regional level, not at the UFC level, but the regional level. He was a regional champion. This guy knows how it feels to be a champion. I think he'll be a UFC champion one day. He is a skilled technician. He's a skilled technical boxer. He's a boxer, like it's ridiculous. Like, his hands are beautiful. His head is strikes. All beautiful. Combinations are crazy. He'll start 4 to the head and then 4 to the body. Nasty body work. Jack Jenkins is a very good striker, and I love the technical strikers. If you want to know a good technical striker, one is Jack Jenkins, the other one is Ilya Topuria. Ilya Topuria is probably my favorite fighter in the UFC.
Music licensing reimagined.
Anyways, Jack Jenkins, like I said, he's a super good striker. He's going to stalk his opponent, cutting off the cage, back you up into the corner, into the cage, and then he just keeps going to town. He tears you apart. Head, body, leg kick. Oh, he'll break you down just with his hand. But he can also get a takedown if he needs to. I think here against Chepe, he's going to have to get some takedowns because Chepe is another very good striker. I do think Jack Jenkins is a better striker. He's a better boxer. So he might have the advantage on the feet, but Chepe is just so unpredictable. We'll see. We'll have to see how Jack Jenkins handles that. Jack Jenkins, like I said, super good combinations, and he also has good takedown defense. You know how he also sets up his striking.
Music licensing reimagined.
I think Chepe is better to check some leg kicks. I don't think Chepe will have a problem with Jack Jenkins' leg kicks as much. But I do think you have a problem with how good of a striker and boxer Jack Jenkins is. The bottom line of this fight is that it's probably going to be fight of the night. Jack Jenkins and Chepe, they both have that dog in them. I have to go with the better overall fighter here, and the better overall fighter here is Jack Jenkins. Even though this is his first UFC fight, I think he's just a better fighter. So Jack Jenkins is the pick. Alright, next up we got my dog Carlos Ulberg versus Dawood Jang. Carlos looks normal. Carlo has that build where he's just like, bro.
Music licensing reimagined.
He's super athletic, super muscular. He just has the look. You know, he has it. He's a 6'4", 32-year-old fighter from New Zealand, 8-1, 6 of those wins by knockout, 4-1 in his last 5. Notable wins are against Bruno Oliveira. He got knocked out though by Kennedy in Czechia. You know, that's a respectable L.
Artlist.io.
He's a super fast, quick, obviously super athletic kickboxer. He throws the big knees in the clinch. I'm a little nervous about his cardio. If he doesn't get a knockout in round 1, he'll be a little shaky because once he loses the cardio and his stamina in the round 2s and round 3s,
music licensing
guards down,
reimagined.
taking jabs to the face, it might cause problems. But I don't think that'll be an issue here in this fight, as Carlos should win this fight with ease. He comes out of the gate super hot, comes out super aggressive, super fast, puts the pressure on him, those quick jabs, quick strikes. I'm very confident in Carlos in this fight. He's taking on Dawood Jang. Dawood Jang is a 6'4" guy, 29-year-old from South Korea, 15-4-1 overall, and he's 3-2 in his last 5. He's riding a 2-fight losing streak. Dawood Jang is the complete opposite of Carlos. He's slow, he's methodical, he's taking his time, but he does have a stupid, dumb, strong right hook, and he'll throw that right hook through anybody's guard at any time, at any place, and he'll also mix in a right overhand as well. Those are obviously his best punches. Those are his best chances to win in this fight. If he times that right hook or right overhand perfectly, and he catches Carlos with him, obviously he can knock him out. But I don't think Carlos will let that happen. Carlos will let that happen. He's too fast. He's just too athletic for this guy. If Dawood Jang gets you on the ground, he is super aggressive throwing elbows. He's looking for that ground and pound. But his takedowns are super slow. I don't see him taking down Carlos Ulberg at all because Carlos Ulberg is just too. I think he's too quick, too athletic. So the pick here is obviously Carlos, but I mean it's UFC. I'm gonna say this over and over again. Anybody can call it at any time, especially when you move up in weight classes. This is a light heavyweight fight. I don't think Carlos will get caught by this guy, but you know it can happen. But Carlos Ulberg is the pick. Next up, we got Tyson Pedro versus Anton Turgic. I'm sorry, I'm mispronouncing the name. I'm sorry. This fight is a pick'em. You know what a pick'em means? That means it could go either way. Pick your side, right? I'll break down both fighters for you, and then you guys can take that information and pick whoever you want to pick. Tyson is a 6'3", 31-year-old fighter from Australia. 9-4 in his last 9-4 overall, and 2-3 in his last 5. He's a quick, powerful striker, but he has very crafty takedown abilities. He beat Paul Craig. I think that says a lot. Paul Craig is a very good fighter in the UFC right now. Tyson Pedro is a very good fighter as well. He beat Paul Craig. He can straight up, like,
Music
only thing I can say about this guy is he can
reimagined.
fight. He can just fight. And when I say fight, I mean on the feet. I'm worried. I'm nervous about him on the ground. That could be scary. He hasn't been on the ground a lot because he knocks a lot of people out. So, game plan for him is obviously keep this a striking match, keep this a technical striking match, not just a brawling match. You don't want to get into any striking exchange with this opponent. He does have that dog in him, though. I'm not worried about his chin at all. I think his chin can hold up. Tyson Pedro, I'm going with Tyson in this fight. He's going against Anton Turgic. Anton is 6'4", 27-year-old fighter from Sweden. 8-2 overall, 3-2 in his last 5. Anton is a contender series guy.
Music
so
licensing
again, he has that dog in
reimagined.
him. He did lose to Vitor Petrino in his last fight. Vitor, I mean, that's a respectable L. Vitor is super good. This guy's a big, powerful white guy. He's good in the clinch. He wants to get you in the clinch, right? He's super good grapple, looking for the grapple, knows how to do the mush in the ankle pick. That's his go-to takedown. So the key here is gonna be for Tyson is to stay out of the grapple, stay out of the clinch. He's fast. Tyson is faster than Anton. Anton is a little slower, but Anton is gonna want to grapple. That's how he wins fights. Once Anton gets you on the ground, he has excellent top control. He's obviously nasty in BJJ. He's nasty at the ground and pound. He's going to throw nasty elbows, and he's not going to quit. He's a super durable guy. So Anton is super tough.
Music
but
licensing
he's not a
reimagined.
striker. He wants to get you to the ground, which is okay because, like I said, you win fights in UFC by ground control time. But I think Tyson Pedro is smart enough, quick enough, athletic enough to win the striking exchange on the feet, keep this fight standing, and Tyson should win this fight. Tyson's going to be my pick. Who's your pick? Next up, we got Justin Tafa versus Austin Lane.
Artlist.io.
Austin Lane is a 6'6", 35-year-old former NFL player. Alright, so that should, paint an image in your mind of the body type. Big, athletic, muscular, fast. He's from America, obviously. He's 12-3 overall. 11 of those wins by knockout. 5-0 in his last 5. However, his most recent fight was against Justin Tafa, where there was a no contest. There was a no contest because Austin Lane was giving Justin Tafa that work. And he might have slipped up with a little eye poke or whatever, but Justin Tafa said he couldn't continue off a weak eye poke because Justin Tafa was not expecting Austin Lane to come out like that, and he was not expecting Austin Lane to be that good. And neither was I. I was even shook because I thought Austin Lane sucked, but he's obviously been working on his game. He's obviously been improving. And I think if that fight would have continued, Austin Lane would have had the W already. But here we are again. They're going to run it back and see who actually wins.
Music licensing reimagined.
Like I said, Austin Lane is not. He's not a good. He's not an. I still don't see him as an MMA fighter. He's how like when the football, basketball guys come over to the combat sports world and think they can run it because they're strong or whatever. That's how I see Austin Lane. But Austin Lane has gotten better. He has improved, right? So I'm excited to see how he looks against an actual MMA fighter because he does have 11 wins by knockout, but they're against no-name people. Except for Greg Hardy. He did knock out Greg Hardy, which is another NFL player trying to come into combat sports, whatever. The key for Austin Lane here is to use his quickness and his athleticism to stay away from Justin Tafa. He's gonna have to stay away, use his quick jabs and quick powerful strikes, stay away from him, frustrate him, not being able to be touched. And then I think Austin Lane can piece him up, and I think Austin Lane can win this fight. Austin Lane is the lock of the week. When I say lock of the week, I mean that Austin Lane is the guy who is the underdog in the betting odds, but I pick him to win because every week I'm gonna do a lock of the week where I'm gonna pick one underdog on the card to 100%, where I guarantee 100%, I guarantee 99.9% that he will win the fight. And Austin Lane is that underdog on this card where he will win this fight. Justin Tafa is a 6', 29-year-old guy from Australia. 6-3 overall, 3-2 in his last five with that no contest last fight against Austin Lane. Like I said, it looked like Austin Lane was gonna whip. It looked like Austin Lane was gonna whip Justin Tafa. Justin Tafa quit because he got poked in the eye. I think he was scared. Justin Tafa and Junior Tafa, his brother, they both knocked out Parker Porter. It's not saying much. Parker Porter is a fat polar bear fighter. Lazy, whatever. He knocked him out though, so it shows he has powerful hands. But Justin Tafa is super slow. He has a history of losing fights as a -200 favorite, which he is in this fight. He's a knockout or bust. I'm scared to see him after round one because I think he just will have no stamina left. He's going to be tired. Austin Lane is still going to be ready to go. The pick here is an easy pick. Austin Lane at plus money. Pick Austin Lane to win this fight. Next up, you got Manel Kape versus Felipe dos Santos. Manel is 29 years old, 5'5", short guy. He's from Angola but fights out of Las Vegas. He's 18-6 overall, 3-2 in his last five. He's on a 3-fight win streak. Let's see if he can keep it up. He's a super fast, quick, unpredictable, quick strike. He's a super fast, quick, unpredictable kickboxer who throws random flying knees and they actually land. He throws a lot of spinning back fists. All the crazy strikes you can imagine, that's what this guy does. And they land, they connect, they're fast. He's a super entertaining fighter, and he's coming in for one thing, and that's knockout. He has a quality loss against Pantoja. Pantoja is right now sitting at the UFC championship. He beat David DeJouric. David DeJouric is a contender for championship. He beat Zugmagogos. I can't say his name, but he's also another good contender. Bottom line is that Manel Kape is a very good fighter. I see him using this fight to climb the ranks so he can get a shot at the title.
Artlist.io.
He's going up against Felipe dos Santos. Felipe dos Santos is 5'7", 22 years old, young guy. First UFC fight. He's a Brazilian though, so I'm on his side a little bit. 7-0, undefeated guy. Like I said, it's his first UFC fight, man. I just can't pick someone who's their first UFC fight. You never know how they're going to react, especially against a well-experienced fighter like Manel Kape. But Dos Santos is inexperienced, obviously, no UFC fights. He wants to go in for takedowns. He wants to get submissions. But Manel Kape is not having it. Manel Kape is a big favorite here. He will win this fight with ease. The pick here is Manel Kape. This fight, we got my boy Tai Tuivasa versus Alex Volkov. Tuivasa is 6'2", 30 years old, from Australia, 15-5 overall, 3-2 in his last five. He's on a 2-fight losing streak right now. He has quality wins and quality losses. Lots of experience in the UFC. He's fought people in the UFC. He's fought big name guys, won against big name guys, and lost against big name guys. He's a big, heavy guy, but he moves well for his size. He likes to use pressure and aggressiveness to cut off cage against faster, more agile opponents, like he did against Cyril Gane. He's a powerful guy, like I said, decent striker. He will throw with you in the pocket. He's not afraid to throw hands in the pocket, and he will land. He will connect. The strikes will hurt. But if he doesn't land, he can get frustrated. He can get discouraged. He can lose confidence, and he will let his guard down and attempt to just rush in and throw stupid jumping makers that won't land, and he will get knocked out. I don't see that happening here, but it has happened in the past. The game plan here for Tuivasa is he's going to have to rely on his striking. Alex Volkov is the bigger, longer guy. Tuivasa is going to have to get in that range, use leg kicks, fight behind his leg kicks, and fight behind his striking here in order to get inside that range and try. Hope he should knock this guy out. Honestly, Tuivasa should knock Volkov out. He's going against Alex Volkov, who's a 6'7", he's super tall, 6'7", 34-year-old Russian, 36-10, and 3-2 in his last fight. He's on a 2-fight winning streak. This guy's super tall. He should be playing basketball or something, but he wants to be a fighter. I don't know why. He's a super low volume. He's not a very good striker, but he throws really good uppercuts because he's so tall, and he throws an uppercut and the opponent's head is just right there. So he does throw good uppercuts. He will throw a jab and a front kick or a leg kick to keep his opponent back. I think if Tuivasa gets inside these ranges, he will easily piece him up. He's not good in the clinch, not good takedown defense. Tuivasa is the better striker here. Tuivasa should win this fight. I want to say easily, but Tuivasa has a history of not winning fights easily. So I think Tuivasa will win this fight. All right, last but obviously not least, your main event. You got my boy Izzy Adesanya versus Sean Strickland. Honestly, this fight needs no breakdown. Izzy Adesanya wins with ease. He has another title defense, another ruby on the belt. I just don't see a world where Sean Strickland wins this fight. There's no way Sean Strickland wins this fight. Izzy's just too good for this guy. Sean Strickland, 6'1", 32 years old. He's from California, 27-5. Does have a lot of fights though. He's 3-2 in his last 5, and he's on a 2-fight win streak. He got KO'd by Alex Pereira, which Izzy just KO'd the mess out of Alex Pereira in his last fight. Sean Strickland is super flat-footed. He has a narrow base, and he kind of just slides across the octagon. Super boring to watch. Super low volume. He likes to play patty cake. Not good counters. How are you low volume with no counter strikes? Sean Strickland has no counter strikes. Izzy Adesanya might KO this man in the first round. I would not be surprised. I'm not even going to break down Izzy because everybody knows Izzy. Izzy's going to win this fight. No questions asked. That's all for UFC 293, people. Thanks for hanging out with me. I hope you guys enjoyed this video like you guys enjoyed the last time. Again, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Follow my Instagram, follow my Twitter, or follow my X or whatever. And remember, just continue to promote. I'm giving out these picks for fun. Ride the train with me. Win some money. We'll see what you guys do. But I think I'm gonna win this card clean. I think this card will be a clean slate. I think I go 12 for 12 on this card. And if I don't, it's not my fault. It's the UFC. Things happen. But yeah, I'll see you guys next week for the next UFC Saturday. Again, I'm going to be posting a video for NFL Week 1. So if you want picks for NFL Week 1, please tune in to my Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. I'll drop the video on YouTube. With that being said, have a good week. Have a blessed week. Stay prosperous. One love.